Supporting communities that are impacted by mining has scaled, and doing so effectively has become a real business priority. But is this true for the coal sector when the global push is to close mines without understanding the real impact that this will truly have on the sector and on the communities? Mike, CEO of the largest coal mining company in South Africa, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So, Mike, as I mentioned, much of the world has an anti stance when it comes to coal, but the ramifications of shutting down coal mines is much greater than a negative environmental impact. There is a community impact as well. What, Mike, do you feel is the extent of employment damage in the coal sector if we simply abandon it, if we walk away and we stop investing?
Years back, there was a conversation about the smokestack industry. They were referring to the mining industry. Later, that conversation changed, started talking about coal as a fossil fuel, which we accept it is a fossil fuel. And I don't want to argue with scientists about that. And I don't want to argue about coal's impact on the environment. The most important part is the just energy transition. It's not a fad. It's just not a concept that was coined by somebody. We are saying when the coal mines run out, after you've mined coal, we will move on and transition to greener and renewable forms of energy generation. Now, if you look at the way we'll do it, it will be a responsible way. Those mines that are existing now will be mined until the end of their lives. The new mines, as Seriti is looking at now, there are new projects that we will consider building. The impact thereof is that there will be job losses, and those job losses impact on communities.
Right.
Therefore, we need to find responsible ways of creating new jobs to replace the jobs that may be lost as a result of coal mining.
So we can't avoid what's happening in the coal mining sector, but we can take care of our communities in terms of what happens next when that coal mine closes.
We have to be responsible. And our commitment as Seriti, that is why we're saying it's not coal versus renewables. It's coal and renewables.
And what is that narrative, Mike? What is the journey you take communities on when they understand that this is the direction that the coal sector is heading on? You are embracing the renewable energy sector very much as Seriti. So perhaps talk to me about that journey that you take communities with in terms of evolving from one sector to another.
If you look at communities within which we operate now, they fully understand that there are projects that we are opening, new projects, and we're creating new jobs. And in areas where mines are closing down, we need to look at repurposing some of those areas and try and create jobs. But I want to be clear that the jobs that we create will not be the same in number as when you build a new mine. In areas like Mpumalanga, specifically where coal mining is predominant, we are going to build wind farms, we're going to build solar farms. Those solar farms will absorb some of the jobs, but it's not going to be the same in quantity or number, because the mines used to employ probably around 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. In a solar farm or in a wind farm, you will be employing less people. But let's repurpose, let's build new skills and consider other industries.
So that sort of leads me on to my next question around new skills. I see Seriti has done a lot of work in the community space over the last 6 to 12 months, probably longer than that. Tell me some of the work that Seriti is doing, and how do you determine what work is the right work to be doing, and how to transfer skills, upgrade people that learn new skills and can move on from the coal sector?
Well, firstly, our training and development program that exists now, that's operating now, will not be stopped. We continue to train. But the skills we were training on, we have trained people as CM operators, dragline operators, LHD operators, and the different types of engineers who become part of our business. With the renewable space gaining prominence and building as Seriti Green is doing now, we find ourselves bringing new types of skills in terms of electrical engineers who understand how wind turbines operate, who understand how a solar farm operates. But the interesting thing that's developing within Seriti, it's an observation and a practicality of people applying for jobs at Seriti Green. We've seen several people moving across from the traditional Seriti coal, moving across to the Seriti Green, applying for roles. Why? Because they believe that there's a future there, and we still believe that there's a future within the group. So there's no contradiction at all.
How do you manage frustrated community members who don't feel like they're getting a just experience in terms of their future, and how you integrate with them?
Well, if I was a member of that community, I would be frustrated as well, because the fear is of losing a job, the fear of not getting any financial or economic development opportunities is real. So not having that opportunity will make me frustrated, and it will create anger. So the most important part for us is consultation, number one.
Okay.
The second part is to ensure that we tell the truth. I'm not saying people are lying, but we tend to say we create a perception that one job lost in the coal mine will be replaced by a renewable job.
Okay.
It's not going to be that easy.
Okay.
The last big one is the consultation process in Seriti. We've created what we call consultative forums. Those community consultative forums are important. Other people underestimate them, but they play an important role in creating that communication channel. And the last big one is that everybody in a community, everyone in every community, it doesn't mean that everybody wants a job. There are people who want to be entrepreneurs. There are people who want other things in their lives. But what is important, we focus on job creation, because we know that it's more important for quite a number of families in those communities.
So just closing this interview, Mike, and taking it back to where we began, you are the largest coal mining company in South Africa. If you were giving a message to the communities around your mines today, right now, what would that message be?
My message would be that coal still has a future. Coal will still be here for some time to come. However, we do recognize the challenges that come with coal mining, and we wish to work with those communities to deal with those challenges. Those challenges come from a healthcare point of view, dealing with the environment, dealing with the water, and making sure that communities are not left behind, or communities are not shortchanged when it comes to the impacts that are caused by coal mining.
Thank you, Mike. I think ensuring communities do not get left behind is really the key takeaway. Thank you for your insights, for what you've shared today, and for reminding our audience just how important the community is, especially in context of the coal mining industry. Thanks for your time, Mike.
Thank you.